Welcome to MS SQL Server on Linux day 3. So today agenda is we are going to create the certificates for Node 21 and Node 22. Why certificates means to communicate between two SQL servers for in Linux OS we need certificates, but coming to Windows it is not required. After that we need to create the endpoints and we need to configure always on. After that we need to install the pacemaker and we can bring that AG into pacemaker. Once it is done, we can manually fail over to the another node for testing facility. So here previously we had some disturbances, right? Now I will show that whether it is got clear or not. Okay. So yesterday what the agenda is, okay, we need to connect from the Windows authentication, right? So here, see, yeah, now I have connected to the Node 22. Let's see whether I'm able to connect to Node 22 using Windows authentication. See, I'm able to connect. Now I will connect to the Node 21. Node 21 also I'm able to connect using Windows authentication. Okay, so now what I need to do here is, so here in Windows we have only one firewall, right? Whether it's Windows or third party. But coming to Linux, so we have multiple layers of security. So in that SC Linux is one of that layer of security. So what we are doing here is I'm disabling that. Okay, so instead of going to the node 21 and node 22, what I'm want to do here, I'm just closing these two. I'm opening this putty. So I'm entering the 10.0.0.21. Open. So root password is 123. So I'm keeping to the left hand side. New session 10.0.0.22. Open here root 123. See here I have connected to the two terminals. Okay. Um, Now what I am going to do is I'm going to disable the Linux here. Okay, just copy this command and paste it here. Okay, now what we need to do here is we need to change here. Just wait. Change SC Linux enforcing is there, right? Here we need to change the permissive. I will show you here. Okay, now we are just editor into the VI mode. What we need to do? We need to press I to insert mode. Yeah, it got changed. Now come to here. Here enforcing is there, right? Here we need to change to the permissive. See the spelling is there same or not? I mean to say like even the caps are also very important. Okay, so that is done. Now press escape, shift to semicolon w small q. Yes, done. Now we need to do the same thing here. Enter, press I, come to the here SC Linux enforcing is there, right? Here we need to change this thing. Press escape button, shift colon small w small q. Okay, now we need to make this changes permanently. For that we need to use this command. Here we need to, this is the one simple command up to 0. After that I'm adding disabling the firewall as well. Yes, this done. See how useful the putty is here. Now what we need to do here, we need to install pacemaker. You know the right, in Windows we have cluster services. Here we need to install pacemaker. Come down, I'm just, see that I'm just pasting only commands. I'm just so I have done configuring everything, no need to change everything. So what we need to do is you need to configure the same names from your end. once you have done the practice same I mean what are the names that I am using, so that you will get familiar. See, remember one thing, if you do 4 to 5 times only, then you are able to get some confidence. So one time is not enough. I have done up to like 6 to 8 times, still it is installing pacemaker. So what I want to do here, simple thing here is paint. In generally this is one Linux machine, this is one line another Linux machine. So here we are in a node 1, we need to create certificates. Okay, in node 21 I will create certificate, and node 20 and 22 also I will create certificate. After that, what we need to do is, you need to copy to this certificate to this machine, this mission, and the another this certificate as well here. So we need to exchange that, right? If I have certificate, you are also certificate. If I don't have your certificate in my machine, how can I talk to you? No. So that's the reason I need to copy both certificates to each other nodes. After that, we need to install those certificates, so that both can communicate each other. Okay, so now we are installing the pacemaker. Okay, and both nodes. Oh, just moving to that node. Yeah, it is done. Okay, now what we need to do is, whenever the pacemaker got installed, user will be get created with the name called HA cluster. So this is the cluster. Okay, so as of now the user got created without password. To we need to set the password, right? For that, the option is called password HA cluster. You just copy this command, paste it here, press enter. So now it is asking the for password 123 123. Yes, that's it. I set the password as a 123. Why? Because it's to make the process easy. I don't want to make the things complex. So in real time, obviously, we need to set the complex password. At least here we can use the same easy one. Now what I need to do is, I install the packages. So here we need to start the pacemaker cluster, and also I need to enable that on both nodes. I just copy this command and go to the node DC. So paste it here. Systemctl start pcds. Okay, what happened? Oh, sorry, I forgot this psd, right? So just copy this command and paste it here. Done. See, it got created symbol link. Okay, so I need to, yes, I need to do that the same thing in node 2 as well. Yes, it got created. So now what I need to do here is, see, in Windows, what we'll do, we will open the Windows Cluster Manager and we will add that. The same thing what we are doing here as well. This is pacemaker, cluster, authentication. Which node I need to add? Node 21 and node 22. For I'm adding the SA user cluster as well. Okay, it will ask the password, I think so. Copy this command. So do I need to do that? Okay, only one on any one of the mission I need to execute the command. It is asking the password of the HA cluster. 123. Done. See, node 21 authorized, node 22 is also called authorized. Now, now what I am doing here is, I am creating the cluster in pacemaker. Okay, that is with the name called Linux SQL cluster. And I'm these node 2 or node 2 21 and node 22 are the part of those cluster. Copy this command, paste it here. See, so synchronizing CPS certificates on both nodes. See, node 21, 22 got success. So now what we need to do here, we can view the configurations. Now, whenever install in Windows, what we used to call quorum, right? Here, corosync. Copy this command, paste it here. See here, you can see that node, how many nodes are there? Node 21 and node 22. Quorum, chorusing code quorum. Two nodes are there. Current, okay, two nodes quorum is for there. For quorum there is one vote. Okay. So either the logging and everything will be there. Just to view the configuration and everything. Okay. Did I start this command? And yes, right? I think. Sorry, this is not this one. I think I started, right? Yeah. Now, so I need to start any one node. Copy this command, paste it here. I have just started the cluster. So it is saying that, okay, node 21 it got started, node 22 is also got started. So no need to execute the same command in node 22. Okay, on any one node. Now to check the status. So what we need to do here, just copy this command, PCS cluster. See, active, active, but it is got in disabled state. Okay, so now what I will do here, I need to enable that, right? So just copy this command, go to the DC. Yeah, that is done. So here I think we will get one error. Okay, see, warning, no Stoneit devices and Stoneit enabled is not false. So it is like we don't have I mean some devices heartbeat is not there. For either you can configure any drive as an heartbeat, or you can disable that is as false. So instead of adding all those things, what I am just copying and disabling the Stoneit device, just like heartbeat. Done. Now I'm installing the high availability package.
Harsha, can you
Yes.
just repeat the point number 10, please?
Point number 10, which one? Yeah. So here the Stonies device is, we need some monitoring purpose between the clusters. So already quorum is there, but I don't have any special device to monitor the health and everything. So either you can configure that, or otherwise I can disable that option. Okay. You just execute this command. Okay. Now what I'm doing here, I'm going to install high availability package of MS SQL Server. You just come down here, you just execute in both machines. Here I need to press Y, small y. Now we need to enable the always on feature. In Windows, what we'll do, we will go to the configuration manager, we will go to that respective instance and right click on that, and we will configure. The same way we need to enable the always on feature as well, and we need to restart that, right? So I'm just copying this. That is what this command is doing. So just copying this command, uh, now pasting here. So do the same thing here. So just copy this command here again. Systemctl copy, sorry, enter, enter. Okay, so as of now we have configured cluster, Linux cluster, we have enabled the always on feature and everything. Now what we need to do here is we need to jump our SQL Server part. As of now, what and all we did here, it was done by the Linux team, but we have to be there in the bridge call. Okay, we have to be aware what they are doing. Okay, as of now we don't do that in the real time. Okay, so it was saying 13 point, I need to create the certificates on node 21. So I'm just go to the moving node 2. Come here, 1 2 3. So here I'm, so but as my experience speaks here, so even though it is a Windows administrator, I have faced some issues with Windows authentication. So it's always better to configure with, go with the SA. I have connected to the node 21, node 22. Yeah, I got connected to the both nodes. Now I'm just moving to the node 21. I'm just copy this command. I'm just copy this command. I'm moving to the node 21, new query, paste it here. So what I am doing here, I am creating the master encryption key with the name, and also I am creating one certificate with the name called node 21. Okay, and I'm taking the backup of certificate to this local location. Okay, and I'm creating one endpoint with a name of SQL AG. So you just click execute here. That's it. Yeah, it got done. Now you just come down here, copy this command, and come to the this node, move the, go to the new query, paste it here. So click execute. Yeah, it got done. So I just created the certificate for node 1 and node 22. Okay. So what we need to do here for now, we need to copy node 1, node 21 certificate to the node 22, and node 22 certificate to the node 3, node 21, vice versa. Okay, so now it is saying copy certificates of one node to another node using secure copy. How secure copy is one of the command. Okay, so what I'm telling, so a secure copy, so this is the location where the certificate is located, I mean is there, and I need to copy to the node 22. You just copy this command, go to the node 21 here and execute. Are you sure? Yes. And ask, it is asking for node 23 root password. Yes, so it got changed. Okay, it got moved to that node 21. Okay, node 22. Okay, now I need to do the same to the node 22 as well. Just copy this command here, paste it here. Yes, password is node 21 password, it is asking 1 2 3. Yeah, it got moved. Now what I need to do here is, in Linux what will happen, each level and security, for example, this is the drive. So here, I mean, even though it is admission privileges, we have separate permissions are there: root level, directory level, file level. So for example, this is the I mean, this is the user can have permission on the drive, but cannot have permission on the, in the directory, in that directory. Okay, or in the file, respective file. So what will happen here, so I have copied the certificate with the root privileges. For that reason, so nobody can view that file to the, I mean, nobody can view that file. For that reason, what we need to do here is, I need to change the certificate. See, I have copied the certificate. If SQL Server is unable to handle, what is the use of copying copying the certificate to other nodes? It is not possible. So to have the certificate sufficient permissions, we need to give this permission to the SQL Server account. What is the SQL Server account in Linux? SQL Server is MS SQL. So here I am copying this command, I am executing here. See here, node 21 certificate is there, node 22 certificate is there. So both MS SQL user and MS SQL group is having read write permission. Okay, so this will get an error here. Now Yeah. Now in the node 22 also I'm having read write permission for MS SQL and MS SQL group. So in Linux, whenever we user grid created, the user also the user plus and a group also is also got created. So slowly we will get to know. Okay, so just be aware what are the respective parts. If you are not aware, no problem, you just tell the Linux admin, boss, this is the certificate, is this having slash root slash opt in this location, you just copy it and give the sufficient permission to our SQL server, they will do that. But while doing lab, we are the administrator and everything we are, right? So we I'm telling for you. Now this is done. Okay, now what is it asking? Create instance level SQ user. So here I'm creating one user with SA authentication called AZ user, password is 123. So I just copy this command, but make sure that I'm going to create the master in the master's database and also in the respective user as well. Okay, you use the same command but replace with your values. Okay, done. Done. Now, what I need is ask resource certificate of other nodes into presenting node using SMS. It means you have created certificate and you have copied to other certificates node, but we need to install it. That right? So I am for that reason I am copying this command. So I need to node 22 new query. So as of now, I have given sysadmin permissions to SQL AG. Okay, SQL AG to the AZ user. But in your case, if this AZ user doesn't having sysadmin privileges, at that time this command you have to give. Otherwise, it is not required. So what I'm going to here is I'm installing Node 2 certificate in Node 21. Click execute. Done. You can also execute, no problem. It will get success. Why? Because sysadmin, right? So now I'm going to node 22. Just copy this command, paste it here, click execute. Got success. Okay. So now what I need to do here is I am going to create a database here. Okay. Node 21 is a no create new database, small text. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yeah. Are you able to see my battery, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know how many minutes it will come. Okay, I hope power will come. Otherwise, it will get shut disconnected. Okay. So right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm taking the full backup. You know that, right? If you want to bring the database into always on, so full backup is mandatory, right? So just copy this, take the backup full, keep that full, click execute. Yes, it was done. Now it was done. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I want to copy that. Okay, copy the backup from the primary to node. Done. Now go to the node 22. 1 2 3. Yeah, it was done. Now I'm executing the same command here. See, I have copied the certificate test back, but coming to this location, see, root having sufficient privileges. If I try to restore the backup, I will get an error. Okay, so for that reason what I need to do here is, okay, so I need to use this command. Ch, yeah, chs on text.bak. Copy this command. Yeah. Now, if you see here test.bak, MSSQL. If you see here, previously it was root. Okay. Now we can restore that. Come back here, restore database. So it got here. Select this backup, click OK. It was done, right? So now click. So we need to restore in the no recovery mode. Click OK. Now I got restored with the no recovery mode. Okay. Now what it is saying that, okay, I have done that. Each node I have copied certificate user. So this user was done, right? This was done, this was done. Now, okay, this was done, I have restored. Now I am able to, I have to create availability group with cluster. I will tell you that. Now go to the new availability group name. Next. So what is the name that I want to give here? Linux AG. I'm giving that. Why? Because I need to differentiate. So here cluster type. If it is Windows, by default it will be the cluster here. If it is third party cluster, it will be external. If there is no cluster, it will be none here. Okay. So I'm just selecting the cluster node. Click next. Select this. Next. So come here. Select asynchronous mode. Right click. Node 22. Yes, done. Synchronous commit. Now come to here endpoint. Mostly, literally, I have faced so many issues because of this endpoint. Here, I don't know why this is domain is coming here. I'm not sure, but it should not be there here. Okay, you just remove this. Okay, node 21 502 502. Okay, that's good. Now backups and everything not required. Listener I will create later. So read only routing I will create not later. Now good. Next. So I have already restored, right? So I'm selecting join. Next. Next. Finish. So it will take 5 to 10 minutes to join the database. Okay. See, we have successfully configured the Linux, always on. Okay. Done. Now go to Node 21 and refresh. See the dashboard. So add listener. So 10.10.10.23. So what is the port number? 1433. Sorry. Here I need to give the listener name, right? So instead of giving that, what is the listener name that I'm going to give here? I just want to make sure that Linux listener is okay. This is the name I want to give. Okay, click add here. IPU 10.10.10.0.23. Subnet mask 255.0.0.0. Click OK. Click OK. Yeah, I'm able to create the listener After this, I need to go to the host Windows directory, DNS, where my DNS got installed. So now go to the expandabc.com. Here you can create the host record. Sorry, here I need to create a host record. So 1.10.23 name I need to give, right? Easy listener 10.10.10.0.23. Click add host. Done. Done. Now come here. Or otherwise can connect 1433. Will restart the DNS once. So let's see either after adding to this node 2, node 21. So now what we need to do here, see in Linux, in Windows, what will happen is, for example, uh, this is one CentOS, this is another Windows, right? So services will fail, will move from this node to this node. What is the process that we used to call them? Failover. Once it is failover back, it is failover back, I mean sometimes it will fail back to this. So in Windows we call it as a failover, fail back, right? But coming to this Linux, so what the terminology and everything we used to call as, like, here, not terminology, like we can make the prefers to that. Okay, these roles should have start on this node only, we can have from preferred replicas, right? But coming to Linux, in especially in FaceMaker, we have some words called location constraints. Location constraints means, okay, on this particular node only the cluster services has to be up. If the cluster services, I mean, for example, if I say that on node 21 the services should start, by any chance node 21 is in down, so I already told that you have to start in node 21, but the node 21 is already down. So in that case, failure will not, I mean entire cluster will down. So that option called, we call it as a location constraints. Okay, second thing, first we need to enable the cluster service. After that only the Linux AG has to be start. This we used to call it as a order constraints. Okay, so these are the main two terminologies that we need to remember in coming to Linux. Okay, so here, so up to endpoint completed, this one completed, so this one is also already completed. Now we are using this command. So we are giving one user, okay, to manage to the FaceMaker to manage the cluster, that is called AZ user, and this password. Okay, so just comment down here. Done. It is done. So if you want to see
Harsha,
the,
what you,
yes, tell me.
Harsha, what you said, ki if in the Windows, if any of one of the cluster, if any one of the node is down, then the database is automatically switch over to other node, right?
Yes, yes.
And what about here in the pacemaker? How is it the functionality is done? If one of the node is down, then it will be database will be automatically routed to another node.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Here
okay.
one glitch is there. Why? Because if we don't specify location constraints. So, for example, we let's assume that we are having a cluster with 3 nodes. So what will happen if I'm going to remove the third node and second node? Like if any case failure happens, that should not move to the second and third node. It has to be start in the first node only. So at that time, what will it will do? AJ obviously with cluster with is going to fail, right? just like I am favoring services. This system is very famous to me, and I am very much eager to run my services on this particular node only. So in Windows, we used to call it as a preferred nodes, right? Okay, but in Linux, we used to call as a location constraints. Just terminology different. Okay, I am just wait. Okay, in Windows, we call it as a preferred node, right? In
Yes,
Linux,
yes.
location
Preferred node
constraint.
on the Windows cluster.
Yeah, in Linux it will cause the constraints, location constraints. Mean location means node, on which node you have to run your services. Okay, and for example, in you have build Windows cluster and everything, so you will start that. You will first you have to start AG cluster. First you have to start AG IP, right? So that's we call it as an order constraint here. Will slowly you will get understand. Okay, so this workshop is like a stepping stone for you, for
Yeah,
me
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
well. Okay, now so what I am doing here is simply I have created one user, right? So how the pacemaker is going to interact with our a always on, we need one user, right? That user is called as user. Using this user, it is going to interact with. Okay, so what is that? In that you can view the content as well. As user, username and password. Okay, so now we are creating that. Now we are creating Linux cluster. See, we have created. Okay, if you want to see that PCS status. See, we have in Windows what we used to call primary nodes, secondary nodes. All are secondary nodes only, right? Coming to Linux, we used to call as a master and slave. Right now, no, this is one monitoring, means it is observing that. Okay, so both node 21 and node 22 are online, but master 21 is the master and 22 is the slave. Okay, it is observing. If you see the status again, see, you are able to,
Harsha,
yes, yeah,
it
tell
is
me.
somewhat in the Windows. If we just check out the failover cluster manager, the one which is holding the AG role is the owner node, something like that, right?
Yes, yes, yeah, just like that only. Here we used to call as a master and slave. Currently, if you see that node 21 is the master, node 22 is the slave. Okay, now what I need to do here is I am going to create the listener in in the cluster. Okay, in the pacemaker, it was done. Now again see the PCS status. So now it was done everything. So here you can see the listener AP AG he started on the node 21. Okay, so now what you will do here, just a moment. Chepu. Huh? చూపిస్తా. Now here we need to start that. Why? Because after what is my availability group name here is master, right? In the Windows cluster, I mean in the Linux cluster, it is my cluster. I have built that on I mean I have attached Linux listener AG. Okay, like I will show in the paint so that we can easily understand. So this is one class send to OS, another send to OS. On top of that, I have created one cluster, right? That we used to call it as a Linux RG hyphen master will be default added. Okay. Now come to home. Okay. So on top of that, we have connected the listener API. So listener is going to here, listener AG. come down here. So listener, I am attaching that. Now what I am doing here is, so tell me one thing. Okay, listener RG is down. Listener AG will be running. Will we able to work? Hello? No, right? So here what I am telling to the cluster means here in this command, first after starting the Linux RG master, then only the listener AG should start. Using this command, I am telling that. So just copy this command. So I am taking one session, new session or duplicate. I don't know why these connections timers will are occurring. Suddenly I got internet. Hello? Yeah, you are able to hear me, right? Hello? Hello?
Hear you, Harsha, we can hear you.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just restarting the node. I just lost the connectivity. Now let's see the PCS status. So both are stopped right here. So PCS start. What is that? Linux RG master, right? No, start. No, it is not work starting. Okay, now I'm starting that user and everything. Just a moment. ఇది స్టార్ట్ అవుతలేదు బిజినెస్ స్టాటస్ స్టార్ట్ యాడ ఇది రీజన్ స్టార్ట్ yeah, see, it just took some time. It got started here. So now let's see whether we are able to connect through listener or not. So as of now, listener AZ. See, I am able to connect through listener as well. Okay. So see, now the database is also synchronized. We have given 30 seconds of time right here, timeout. So it will comparing to that Windows, it will take some time. Okay. So that's the reason it will I mean previously it was in stop state. After 30 seconds it got started. As of now you are able to see that, right? But I have done nothing. But when I execute for second time, see that previously if you see here, listener AZ is in stopped state. So within I think that within 30 minutes, 30 seconds only it got started. Okay. So here, that's the thing. Now we have done in everything. Now let's see that what the status is in everything. Now I'm opening this PCS status. I'm moving to this AG. Okay. Here node 22 is the master. Okay, node 22 is the slave. Why? Because due to some network connection I have restarted, right? So that's the reason what it has done. It has moved the services from node 21 to node 22. Okay, so here you are able to see that. Now, so what I will do here, I want to move to the node 21. Okay. So, but before that, we need to see that. So in the Linux, the cluster, the worst thing is location constraints. I will tell you what exactly it is. So here, this is line host sent OS, another sent OS. If the services fail over from this node to this node, so it will Linux will fix that. Okay, this is node 22. I have to on only on this node. So it will return in the in this registry. Okay. So it will not tell us, it will not assume that because of failover I need to came to this node. Okay, once it is down I need to move to it will not tell us, it will write okay, this is my node, at any cost only I have to start on this node only. It will write in the registry, so that we need to remove everything. So that is one of the job, like we need to do that. Let's see that how it will be there, it written or not. As of now you see that, right, I didn't return any location constraint. So if you see here, so here we are having three location constraints, ordering constraints, and co-location constraints. Co-location constraints means, okay, For example, we are having some two databases. One database related to the database, I mean database server, and one database related purely related to the application server. So now what do you need to do? Database server, you have to turn on the node 1. Now application database, you have to make the you have to run the services on node 22. So in that reason, if you want, if you are having that kinds of requirement, then co-location constraint will come into picture. As of now, location constraints also there is nothing is there. Now we can see that. So if now what I will do, I will show in the failover, okay, in the GUI. Order 21 or secondary node 22. See, the failover option is got disabled. It means as of now we are 20 in 2017. 2017 was future was last support was there, got introduced in 2017. So but I didn't know that. I didn't, I mean in future versions they make you to failover from SSM, from SQL Server onwards. As of now in 2017 I'm talking about, there is no failover using SSMS. If you want to do failover, as of now the services are in 2020, node 22. Now what I want, I want to prefer, I want to failover to the node 21 only. At that time, if you want to do failover, so this is the command. So for which one you want to move, node 21, right? Just replace that command. Okay.
Harsha, why that failover is disabled on that SSMS?
It's a there is no support for failover using SSMS. Okay, you tell that, I will tell that. See, Linux is separate operating system and Windows is separate operating system. So Microsoft got introduced with the means got into support for the Linux. So at the time what they want to do, they will come with the limited features. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
in further versions they will improve that. Okay,
Got it, brother.
yes.
Got it.
So now what I'm doing here, I'm just copying this command. This is the whole command. Okay, so now I will see that, just go to the this thing. So this one is right, Linux r hyphen rg master, you want to move that. Okay, so that's the reason I'm putting this one. I'm telling that you just go and start with the node 21. So if you want to fail over here, just hyphen enter. My job is done. Okay, it in the backend it will fail over and it will take time. So if you want to monitor the status and everything, so we are having pcs status command, press enter. See, now it got started and it is promoting. So it is promoting to the node 21. See, sometime it will be started. Okay, so now it is monitoring. See, now it got failover, right? Previously it was master is 22. Now it was 21. Now I will show you here. So what is that node 22? Primary, right? You just refresh this. See, now it got secondary, right? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So now it got becomes a, if you want to do failover, so you have to do only through from command wise only. There is no option using SSMS. Now we'll see the location constants is there or not. Okay. So
Yeah.
to see
Harsha,
the,
one doubt.
yes, tell me. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is that previously you said right, whenever we started the services, then services at that time also the failover happened, right?
Yes, failover happened. That's the reason it went to node 22. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So I
Okay.
told you in 15 minutes back only, I did failover to the node 21, right? But
Yes,
what,
yes.
see, you are able to see that location constraint here.
Yes, yes, correct, correct.
Okay, see here. So it will return. Okay, you okay, like what it will tell that it will return automatically in his memory. Okay, what it means. So if in case, so as of now it was done, right? So
Yes,
my shift went completed. Okay, and
mm,
another guy will came. So recently
yes.
with some network issues, it got node 21 got failover, but
Okay,
cluster didn't came up. Why? Because of this location constraint.
okay, okay,
Okay,
got it, got
why? Because it has written to that. Okay, I have to on only on 21 only. Okay, see, enabled on 21. So every time whenever we coming to Linux, whenever we failover is not happening, everything, first thing what we need to observe, is there any location constraint? Is there any co-location constraint is there? First we need to check these two parameters. Okay, so as of now, look, if I do failover node 22, the entire cluster will go down. Why? Because I told you that you have to start on node 21 only, but node 21 is not available. So in case what will happen, entire cluster will go down, right? So for that reason, so whenever failover happens, we need to remove that. Okay, so you just copy this command, enter, execute. So remove is the command, CLI just prefer. So I have just removed that. Okay, now if you see the location constraint, is there any location constraints here compared to here and here? Is there any constraints here? Hello?
no.
Yeah, means we have removed the preferred node on preferred nodes and everything. Now if in case if node 21 goes down, automatically the services will go and run on the node 22. Okay, so this is how failover works in cluster. In interview they will ask you some few questions. Okay, I will go, I mean, as of now I done in everything here. If you put what are the points that I showed in previously in the resume, they will ask you what is corosync, one is stone death. I will tell you what the stone death is. uh, Paint. Somebody asked you stone death, right? Stone death.
Yes, yes, yes.
What exactly stoneth here is, what it will do is, if you see the spelling here, stoneth means shoot at another node in their head. Okay, so right now this is my sent way and this is one my node, another node. So what will happen if this server is not fully available, having some network issues, it will sometime it will network will go up and after 15 minutes it will came down. So is there any diagnostics? So if the node health, okay, let's assume that you and me are going in a bike. Okay, so you the person who riding the bike is I mean is in sleeping. Okay, he is not driving how a man who drives like when he was in wake up. So what another person will do, he will ask the to stop the bike and he will they will exchange the seats. Okay, they will the another person who is sitting in the back end, they will come forward and he will ride the bike, right? The same thing here. If the cluster, if another node is not working or not healthy properly, okay, you guys, you second node 22, you are not, your health is not good, you just better go out of cluster. Okay, so this cluster, this node 21 will assume that this is not doing good. If in case if I run any give any services to run on this node, entire will cluster will go down. So it will remove that, it will remove that. Okay, and entire services will take care by of this primary node only. Okay, so if this situation will come in our Windows cluster also, so what is the error we get in the Windows? The cluster membership was removed from the node, right? This is the error what we get in Windows. Okay, for the same technology we used to call it as a stoneth. Okay, so for our cluster, for our lab practical, we have disabled this. Okay, so in interview they will ask you few questions. Okay, is the failover happened? How you are going to do failover in Windows in Linux cluster? That is the thing. What is the instance name you get in when you install SQL Server, MS SQL? Okay, what is CoroSync? Okay, what is the location constraint? How Windows SQL, Linux SQL Server another will communicate with another SQL Server Windows 17 through certificates. Did you configure like always on in Linux? Okay, these are the questions you may, how you are going to join the Windows. Do you have experience? Did you work with the Linux team? These kind of questions they will ask. See, since we have done everything in front of you only, okay, so you can role play that I have done these activities, then these activities to say to say that very confidently. You have to practice from your end as it is. Okay, what are the names that I used, the same thing, right? So you just configure the node 21 and node 22, so you can use the same document, same users, same. Once you done successfully for first time, then the next time you can configure with your own name, so that you can get the differences. Okay, what I have done on the first time, what I have not done in the second time. So this is how you will get familiar with the errors. Okay, everything in the internet we are seeing that these are the three commands. The semicolon will tell us, okay, uh, first this command will execute, after that this command will get execute. Okay, after that command will execute. In Microsoft documentation, entire this line, two lines will having three commands, means we have to copy the first line here and we have to execute again. We have to copy this line up to here, up to here, we have to execute. So what I have done is I have just added the semicolon. So in in Linux, is semicolon just like equivalent to our in SQL Server, just like go. Okay, so that's all from my end. It's time for questionnaire. Hello.
Harsha, we will first check it out from our end, then only we will come up with the
Yes,
questions and all
yeah,
those
that's
things.
okay, I understand. So apart from this, do you have any questions like interview or anything? So please make sure once you done that, you have to mention those points in your resume. Okay, so whatever, one thing boss, whatever we learn here, we have to showcase, otherwise there is no point of learning here. So
Yes, yes,
we have to make ourselves unique. Okay, in the point of the interviewer. Okay, is it good
yes, yes,
to,
sir.
yeah, wind up?
Yes, yes. No, no. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so I will return detailed email. Okay, please
Okay.
forward your email address. Okay,
Okay, Harsha. Okay.
thank you,
Yes.
thank you all for attending session.
Thank you,
We'll see.
Harsha.
Yeah,
Thank
Harsha,
you.
one more question. Hello.
Yes, yes, please, yes, please.
Can I call you personally? Like, I want to ask a few things
Yeah,
today
sure,
or
sure.
tomorrow also.
Yeah, sure, sure,
If you
no
want,
problem,
I
no
will call
problem,
tomorrow
you
also.
can call.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay,
Okay, Harsha. Okay.
thank
Yeah.
you, bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome.